What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what I think is going to play out for the future of this company. I'm also going to talk about the overall stock market and how this may have affected Tesla today. We also have some very big pieces of news that we have to discuss, as Jerome Powell is about to have a hearing tomorrow, and also CPI data and other big updates are coming out very soon that could definitely affect the market and Tesla as a whole. I'm also going to talk about some big headlines coming out for Tesla, as well as we have some very, very bullish pieces of news coming out, guys, because we do have some updates for the big factories, the big gigafactories that are coming out. And I'm going to end the video, guys, by talking about what on earth Elon Musk retweeted, as he has some very big updates for Tesla. Now, before I say anything about Elon Musk's Twitter page, before I say anything about Tesla's share price or what's going on with our economy, I do have to mention some very important things first. First off, I'm not a financial planner, guys. This is all for educational and entertainment purposes only. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And not only benefits me, benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're not only going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500, but you're also going to qualify for free real-time level 2 data and $0 commission trading if you simply sign up and deposit $100. So please check that out, guys. You'll get free money. And with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So, guys, looking at Tesla, we had a crazy day today, okay? We started off absolutely crashing down to $980, once again dipping below the $1,000 level of support, but then we had a pretty spring-like reversal, I would say. We ended up running up after that to about 1,016, then we dropped, then after that we just saw a lot of green after that, closing at 1,058, once again up 3.03%. Let's go, guys. We're also up in the after hours, which is a pretty good sign. Now, before I go into more detail about Tesla, guys, and show you guys this right here, as you guys can see, there was quite a bit of volatility, so to speak, and we did run up touching the upper band. We had a pretty strong closing, guys. That's a very good sign for Tesla. But I want to show you guys something else that's very indicative and supportive of the claim that Tesla can actually be affected by the market. Now, look at the NASDAQ, guys. As you guys can see, the Nasdaq crashed, it ran up, then it dropped a little bit, then it absolutely ran up, closing up over 0.005%. That's very similar to the way Tesla ran. However, guys, I don't think Tesla just ran because of the Nasdaq. There are other factors too. But first off, I'm going to talk about the Nasdaq and the overall stock market. Now, look at this right here. The current fear and greed index is pretty neutral right now, and I wouldn't say it's like, too fearful just yet. It's because it's very dependent on very big pieces of news that are coming out right now. Now, first off, let me talk about something that people are not talking about too much, and that is the Evergrande situation in China. So for those of you who don't know, Evergrande is one of the largest real estate developers in China, and it's going through some very, very tough times right now, guys. It's on the verge of going bankrupt, and that in turn is going to affect very big lenders and institutions in America, because they are the ones that depend on this money. They're the ones that depend on companies like this, and if it does default on its debt, their investments are going to be almost worthless, which in turn is going to hurt them and affect their decisions. So this in turn can affect the US stock market and lead to some bearish momentum. Now, another big thing about that is this right here. Now, the Fed balance sheet is currently at about 9 trillion. Actually, it's almost at 9 trillion. This does say 8 trillion, but it means 9 trillion. For the first time, is it hit over a 8 trillion. That's pretty insane, guys. We're going to see some adjustments being made to this very soon, and that in turn is probably going to affect the Fed's policy making and its actions coming forward, as they're becoming much more hawkish. Now, another big thing, guys, is Jerome Powell. He's obviously going to be coming forward to the Senate very, very soon, and we're going to see him absolutely be hammered and hammered and hammered. There are going to be some big questions coming up to this guy because of how he's actually responding to inflation. There's going to be a lot of questioning, guys, and he could say something that could definitely affect the market. So I want to let you guys know that this is tomorrow, I believe, January 11th. It's going to be happening tomorrow, which is why we have to pay very close attention to what he says, because what he says could definitely affect the market, because his actions, his work, they could definitely affect the market to some massive degree. So it's very important that we all look at this. Now, another big thing to be looking at is this right here, guys. We have CPI data, inflationary data, coming out very, very soon. It's going to be coming out this week, and that in turn could actually have some sort of effect on the overall market, either the good or the bad, but more likely to cause some bearish price action. And the reason for that is because of this right here. Basically, Bloomberg has an estimate for the December CPI data, or inflation, and they found it to be 7.1%. Now, that's just for December, and remember, in November it was 6.8%. So it does appear that inflation got a little bit worse for December, but once again, I don't know for sure just just yet. This is just what Bloomberg has been reporting. We don't know what the actual numbers are just yet. And at the end of the day, guys, this can cause some, how should I say, bearish movements because of this right here. This is the reason why Goldman Sachs is now saying that it's going to predict that the Fed will hike rates 4 times this year. Once again, 4 rate hikes this year, more than previously expected. Once again, that would not be too good for the overall stock market. However, guys, I do want to talk about how this could affect Tesla, because what's going to happen is the federal funds rate is going to start going up relatively soon. Why is this happening? It's because the Fed has to be addressing inflation, and other data is suggesting that it's going to be a little bit more aggressive than we once had anticipated. Now, what does this mean? They're not necessarily in full control of interest rates, so to speak. They influence them by changing the federal funds rate, which is going to affect the cost to borrow money for banks and institutions. Now, the reason the Fed is doing this is they don't want to crash Tesla. They're not bad people, so to speak. At least I presume that they are not. I don't think that their intent is just to ruin the stock market. They're doing this because they have to really, really, really come across these issues, which they have been pushing back for far too long, in my opinion. And that is why I think Jerome Powell is going to get quite a bit of criticism coming up tomorrow. Now, what does this mean for Tesla? What does all this data I just show you mean for Tesla? So what's happening to Tesla, guys, is right now we had a good run, and we do have some bullish catalysts that could really cause high volatility. I expect very high volatility for this week because of the fact that, look, not all the data is bad, guys. Okay, you have to put that in your head. Not everything is bad for Tesla, because look, the market is kind of like bringing Tesla down, or at least I'm kind of oversimplifying this, but yeah, the market is going to be bringing Tesla down. But we do have some very bullish catalysts coming out too that could cause the opposite effect. So it's very, very crazy right now. We're in crazy mode right now. And here's the reason why. Look at this article right here, guys. It states, according to Inside EVs, that the the Tesla's Giga Austin may begin Model Y production in a week or so. So once again, guys, within a week, we're probably going to see the Tesla Model Y being produced. Could you imagine how bullish that's going to be? A new Gigafactory is going to start production very, very soon. That's going to be absolutely awesome. Elon Musk is probably going to be tweeting about that. But then simultaneously, we have this piece of news right here. Basically, it states this right here. According to Electrek, Tesla receives green light to build 2,000 Model Y bodies at the Gigafactory Berlin ahead of the final approval. Once again, they're starting more and more production in Berlin as well. So once again, that's very, very awesome in my opinion, guys. 2,000 Model Ys being built would be absolutely bullish news. And in my opinion, that could really cause this thing to actually have somewhat of a reversal, to so to speak. But the problem with that, guys, is I can't promise that because of the fact that the overall stock market could be in a very dire state right now because of what on earth Jerome Powell may end up saying and what CPI data suggests. So what does this mean for Tesla stock? So from the way I see it, guys, we did dip below 1,000, which means that $1,000, our level of support at 1,000 is not extremely strong now, and we could dip below that. So if the market causes Tesla to dip, if Tesla ends up dropping, don't be surprised if this thing goes to the high 900s relatively soon. Now, the MACD is suggesting that it's probably going to continue to drop, but it's getting closer to crossing, which is a pretty good sign. And the RSI did actually go up to about 47.08. So right now, it's kind of in the middle, guys. It's really hard for me to make a prediction because some indicators are showing this thing might kind of drop a little bit. Other ones are showing it's going to keep running up. But then the thing is, it's very dependent on what on earth is reported by Powell, what the CPI data says. And I don't truly know how it's going to affect the market just yet. I'm not some kind of sorcerer that could see into the future. Jerome Powell might say something that could cause the market to tank, or he might say something that causes the market to explode. It really depends on those factors, which is why I can't give you a perfect prediction. But I do want to let you guys know something. It is possible for us to have a green day still, even if there are some technical indicators saying otherwise. But at the same time, it could be a red day. So I truly don't know, guys. So what do I think is going to happen? I think we do have some good momentum. And because the fear and greed index is pretty neutral right now, we could continue to run up a little bit depending on what on earth is said by Jerome Powell. Now, I do want to be honest with you guys. I think CPI data is not going to be too good. I think we're going to see some news about Jerome Powell saying something about the taper rate. So he might say something about tapering at a rate of $200 billion per month or something crazy like that. I'm just hypothetically putting that out there, right? And I think it's more probable for something like that to happen, which is why I think we're going to end up dipping relatively soon. I hate to say that about Tesla, guys. Even if we do have big pieces of news coming out, I think that if the Fed ends up saying something crazy, it could really, really, cause a very emotional response, and that in turn could cause Tesla to drop to the high 900s relatively soon. Now, even though it's probably going to drop, it's not just going to be a straight line, guys. It's going to run up, then drop a little bit, then run up, and then drop and drop and drop and drop. And that's because of the fact that we have bullish pieces of news coming out, such as the fact that Tesla may, end up announcing that the Tesla Gigafactory is going to be opening very soon. That in turn is going to be very awesome news. So even though it's awesome news, guys, I can't promise that's going to cause us to go to all-time highs. Right now, the market is in just a very capricious state, and it's very hard for me to make any accurate predictions. Now, what I do want to tell you is, at the end of the day, the long term is still looking very good for this stock. Look at the 5-year chart, guys. I'm going to look at weekly candles as well. Guys, we're still on this upward trend. Now we're kind of like hitting the brakes for a little bit of time because of the market, which is probably going to cause Tesla to drop a little bit and see high volatility. But then overall, guys, if you just wait it out, and that's the easiest strategy for Tesla. If you just wait, you keep buying the dips, you're going to see a very good recovery relatively soon, and everything's going to be fine. So don't lose faith. Don't be too worried. And I do want to announce something else that's very awesome, and that is this right over here. Elon Musk actually retweeted this tweet from Tesla and states that drive anywhere in the US using the Supercharger network now in all 50 states. And obviously, this is almost entirely true, except you can't drive to Hawaii. That is one of the 50 states. But at the end of the day, guys, you could drive to almost any state in America, because now the Supercharger network is in every single state. That's very awesome in my opinion. And it's super good piece. It's a great piece of news that shows that it's incentivizing more people to buy Teslas. And I can't wait for what the future holds. So with that said and done, guys, I want to thank you for listening. Like I said, I apologize if you guys didn't like what I said in this video, because I don't truly know how Tesla's going to respond. It really depends on what Jerome Powell says, the CPI data. But at the end of the day, guys, remember, if it dips, eventually it's going to recover. That's how I want to end this video, and don't necessarily lose faith. There are some bullish catalysts that could cause some green, but it seems more probable that we're going to see a little bit more red than green, and we could dip to the high 900s very soon. So it doesn't matter to me, guys. I'm not scared whatsoever. I'm prepared to buy dips, and I have a plan. So I recommend just being prepared, guys. Figure out your own plan and be ready for whatever ends up coming. Be prepared for anything, and I'll see you on the next one. I thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.